All right. Hello, high schoolers. How is everybody doing? This is Mr. C of Mr. C's Homeschool Music Academy. Oh, sorry for the lateness today. Just some computer issues, some glitches going on. Life's not perfect, but as much as we want it to be, yes. But I am here. We've made it here. We're together, and I am so glad to be here. So it's time for my jingle, everybody. Let me just get out my ukulele. And let's, if you know the jingle, sing along. Here we go. Time for school, time for music, time to learn together, we can do it. Learning is fun with Mr. C. And learning is fun with Mr. C. Okay, and we're looking to have fun learning, guys. So, took out my trusty ukulele over here, but now it's time for me to get on my piano. Okay, we are definitely going to do a hymnal, as we always start our classes with. Just a hymnal, but also a couple of just some reminders and things like that I want to make sure I share with you guys. But just so that you guys can get it ready, if you don't know this song, it's called "Trust and Obey." That's the name of the hymn, "Trust and Obey," and it's by John H. Sammis. Okay, he was a Christian author, and he wrote a couple of different lyrics for other songs. He was a lyricist. Daniel Towning was the actual composer of this song, of the particular song, so he wrote the music for that. But John H. Sammis, when he wrote these words, he was very much inspired by the overall message of the Bible, which is to trust and obey God. Okay, that was the idea behind this song. And so even though he doesn't quote it exactly, he doesn't quote the Bible scriptures exactly. Again, all throughout the Bible, you see many different instances where God just talks about how it's just easier to follow his law, and it helps us to live at peace, in harmony, and unity with other people, and to do, and just doing what is right, because he is our Lord, he is our Savior, he's the one who created us, guys. So trust and obey. If you go onto Google search engine and just type in "trust and obey" lyrics, you should be able to get that very easily. So if you don't have that hint, because if you don't know the song, try to look for that while we're doing this. But as well as parents who might be listening, homeschooling parents might be listening, as well as you guys, go on to patreon.com/Mr. C's Homeschool Music Academy, where you can become a member of Mr. C's Homeschool Music Academy. Those people who are members are allotted a certificate of achievement from Mr. C's Homeschool Music Academy, as well as just some benefits, live Q&As, asking questions about musicianship and forms of teaching music, or teaching in general, or just anything when it comes to what we do. Those live Q&As will be for those members who are part of Mr. C's Homeschool Music Academy. Also, the virtual holiday open mic, which we're looking to do in December, not too far away, guys. So virtual holiday open mic. The detail as to what day that will be, I will definitely let you guys know in advance. But so the date is to be determined, okay? But yes, the holiday open mic in December, only exclusive to those members of Mr. C's Homeschool Music Academy. And if I'm trying to remember, oh yes, and the video courses for homeschooling parents who want to learn some teaching methods, learning how to do a proper lesson plan, how to build your rules and expectations in the classroom. Those things definitely serve for every subject that you might be teaching, but as well as music. And I also do teaching methods on music. So I have video courses on there, okay, where I teach you those finer details and those things that'll help you to be a better teacher, to be a better music teacher, even for those people who are musicians and want to look to make a few extra cash, just being a private music teacher. I help with that too. That video course is ideal for anybody who's looking to improve their teaching methods. So get onto patreon.com/Mr. C's Homeschool Music Academy. With the minimum of $1, you can definitely become a member of that, okay? Please also, thank you for those who have been subscribing to my channel, people around the world, okay? Places like in the Philippines and in India, and as well as in some parts of South America, one namely being Ecuador, which is where my parents are from, okay? And some different places from the United States, as well as New York, my hometown, where I'm originally from. So thank you guys for your overwhelming support. I love that lots of people are watching my YouTube channel. Please continue to do so to get more music, and hit subscribe so that you have that collection there. You have that ability to always get onto YouTube and find my videos a lot easier. Just subscribe to my channel. It's no hassle at all. It doesn't cost anything. Just just hit that subscribe button and also hit the notifications button so that you can be aware of future lessons that are coming up. Okay, so there it is. Okay, those are my quick little announcements. Let's get right into the hymnal. We're going to get into, again, trust and obey, because there is, according to the hook, the words are trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey. Let's sing these words. Let's think about God and everything that he's telling us, and think about how wonderful it is, a gift it is for us to be able to do music and anything else, guys. It is a gift from him. So we know that he has our best interests at heart. Everybody, before we even sing, let's do a couple of stretches. I know we need, especially sitting in front of the for schoolwork and things like that, sitting in front of the computer, it kind of becomes a little bit of a detriment when it comes to our physicality. We do need to move around, guys. So just a couple of quick stretches to not only help our limbs, but our voices as well. Okay, so here we go, everybody. Let's get up into the air, stretch, stretch, stretch. Okay, and let them drop. Roll the shoulders a bit towards the back. There you go. Feel that nice massage, and roll them forward. All right. And when I was in high school, I was doing these stretches. This is definitely a necessity, especially when we're going to sing. Everybody rotate the necks in a circle. And these are stretches we've done before too, I'm sure, but very, very necessary. Everybody rotate the other way, in the other direction. Nice and slow, of course. All right. And everybody look all the way to your right, and all the way to your left, and all the way up, and all the way down. And shrug and hold. Shrug your shoulders and hold it, and let them drop. Okay. All right. Everybody take a deep breath in through your nose and out your mouth. I can't speak. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Okay. Here we go. Let's get to it. So trust and obey. Hopefully you have those lyrics handy. Okay. And also, by the way, if you haven't, pretty soon, get your manuscript paper handy, as always. So we are doing music theory, composition, and we're going to go over those accidentals that we didn't go over last week, which are the flats, by the way. We're going to go over the flats as far as how they fit into key signature and how you read them. Okay, we went over sharps last time. Let's go over flats. Again, make sure you have a pencil with a good eraser, nice and sharpened. Okay, make sure you have that handy along with your music sheet paper, your manuscript paper, however you want to refer to it, with those 5 lines and 4 spaces. Okay, have that all ready, and we're going to take a lot of notes. Okay, so here we go. Once again, sit up straight, back is straight, shoulders relaxed. Okay, and let's get to singing Trust and Obey, once again by John H. Sammis. Okay, if you don't know it, sing along. Okay, and that's why you have the words there. Yeah. When we walk with the Lord in the light of his word, what a glory he sheds on our way. While we do his good will, he abides with us still, and with all who will trust and obey. Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey. Not a burden we bear, not a sorrow we share, but our toil he doth richly repay. not a grief or a loss, not a frown nor a cross, but is blessed if we trust and obey. Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey. But we never can prove the delights of His love unto all on the altar we lay. For the favor He shows and the joy He bestows are for them who will trust and obey. Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey. Then in fellowship sweet we will sit at His feet, or we'll walk by His side in the way. What He says we will do, where He sends we will go. Never fear, only trust and obey. Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey. Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey. Well, I certainly hope that you guys enjoyed that. Trust and Obey by John H. Sammis. Okay, all right, so now that we got our heads right, guys, it is time for the core of our lesson. We're going into, again, accidentals using our flat signs. Those are the lowercase b's. That's the opposite, well, not the direct opposite, but just the different symbol from the hashtag symbols, which is known as the sharps, okay? So I'm going to grab up my markers over here, and I'm going to stand, and I'm going to point the camera towards the whiteboard, okay? Again, have your manuscript paper handy. Please have that handy. Have it ready because you're going to be taking notes. That's what this is about, getting into our writing. So here we go. So here we go, accidentals, once again. And we're talking about flats. Okay, the flats look like, again, they look like a lowercase b. That's what I have there in the parentheses. Let me make sure I'm doing a good angle for you guys to see. All right. Nope, I didn't like that one. All right, there we go. I think that's a little better. And can we see my whole head? No, not really. I don't like that. Gotta adjust and readjust. There we go, much better. Okay, so our accidentals, flat signs. I'm gonna draw a set of staff lines, okay? That's what we use, right? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. So we got our staff lines, and I'm going to use, and I've been using treble clef for instance, okay? Usually what you start off with. Of course, our future lessons will be, I'll do a review sort of on flats and sharps, how we use them in accidentals to find out, to read the key signature. Let me write that term down, okay? Key signature, Okay. So basically, again, if I haven't reiterated it enough, the key signature is basically the order of sharps or flats that are placed right after the treble clef on a staff, on a piece of music. And they're arranged in a particular order, okay? In this case, we're going over the flats this time, okay? And basically that key signature will tell us what key we're in before we start, okay? These are things that we need before we start learning to play a song, or even before we start learning to compose something, okay? Well, let me reiterate that. Before, when I say before, we can go on the piano. There's a piano, my piano's in front of me. We can go on the piano and you can play around with a lot of notes, play around with the different scales, okay? And then decide, okay, for this song, I'm gonna do it in the key of A, or I'm gonna do it in the key of G, or I'm gonna do it in the key of F, or B flat, or whatever the case may be, okay? Then you need to be able to write that at the beginning so that it tells whoever comes in contact with the music, if you're going to play it or somebody else is going to play it, it tells them right away that the song is in a particular scale, okay? Of course, not following, when I say scale, not following the whole do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, okay? Although that melody pattern might be in the song, okay? But not necessarily always, okay? So again, we have to know what we're dealing with before we start. This way we know how to approach the song, what scale we're going to be in. And when it comes to the sharps or the flats, or in this case the flats, basically it'll tell us which notes are accidental or flats, which are a half a step lower than its original, okay? And so, for example, I've talked about this briefly in another lesson, but for example, flats again are half a step lower than the natural note. Okay, our natural notes on the piano keys usually are the white ones, okay? Whereas the accidentals are usually the black keys, okay? So if I was playing a G, okay, you don't know that that's a G, but take my word for it, that's the G, okay? If we were playing a G and we know that this is how a G natural sounds in a pitch, and yet we're looking for G flat, now if we were to play G flat, it would be a half a step lower to the black key that's right next to it. Here's G natural again. This is G flat. Okay, so it's notice the difference in pitch. It's a half a step lower than the original. G flat. Okay, so every note that has a flat symbol in front of it, or is labeled a flatted note within the scale of a particular song, according to the key signature, those are the notes that are going to be flat, you see, as opposed to the natural notes, okay? So let's get into this. I'm going to put up seven flat symbols in this particular order, and I want you guys to copy this down, okay? So make sure you have your treble clef on your blank staff lines over here, and when you write the flats, you're going to start with the one that goes right here on the third line. Remember, I showed you this in a previous lesson, okay, that this was the key of F actually on the B flat line, okay? This flat sign has the B flat line the B line going right through the flat sign. So we have the one there. Then we're going to count one from the line, 1, 2 to the space, 3 to the line, 4 to the space, and put another flat symbol right there, okay? So write that there. Notice how it's going. Notice how we're going in the direction from left to the right, which is how we read, right? So when you're writing these down, it has to be in this particular way, okay, in this order. Where we start off with the third line, count 4 steps up, and there we are at the top space in the E space actually, right? How do we know that's an E? Space, the formula for spaces, F-A-C-E, okay? So that is our E. Then from there, we're going to count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the A space, okay? And then we're going to add another flat symbol there. Notice again, actually, you know what? I'm not entirely happy with the way I wrote that. So I'm going to fix that a bit. There. Now, notice how I'm going, again, from the third line, I'm going diagonally towards the left. And then from this top space, I'm going diagonally towards the left some more, okay, for that third flat sign, okay? So that is the third flat, which is on the A space, meaning it's now an A flat. From there, we're going to count one from this space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, I should say. Sorry, 4 spaces going up. 4 steps, I should say, going up. Diagonally towards the left some more. Another flat right there, okay? And notice where the flat is in comparison to this previous one on A. We're going up to the D line, and we're going 4 steps up diagonally towards the left. Again, everything is going, every flat that we put, they're not directly aligned. They're going diagonally, whether up or down, towards your left, okay? Because again, that's how we read from, I'm sorry, did I just say from to the left? Excuse me, oh my gosh. Going to the right, okay? From left to right, okay? So we're going in the direction of the right because that is, again, how we read, okay? So the third line, 4 spaces up. From the top space, 5 spaces down, diagonally again towards your right, and then diagonally again, 4 steps up to the D line, okay? And there's our D flat, okay? From there, we only have 4 flats there so far. From there, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, diagonally 4, and 5 onto the G line. And we end up diagonally towards the left some more with our 5th flat on the G flat. How do we know that's a G? Lines formula, we start with the bottom line, we go every good boy does fine, every good, and that is our G, okay? But doesn't end there. We only have 5 flats still. We have to go diagonally more towards your right, going up in steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 steps up to the space. There you go. We have 6 right there. And then guess what? We're going to diagonally go down again for the 7th flat, diagonally down another 5 steps. Let's count it from there, from the space. 1, line is 2, space is 3, line is 4, and space is 5. 5 steps down. So you notice, guys, every time we add a flat, okay, every time we add a new flat, we do something different than what we do with the sharps, okay? It's always starts on the 3rd line. We go 4 steps up to put the next flat, the 2nd flat. For the 3rd flat, 5 steps down. 4th, 4 steps up, 5 steps down. 4 steps up, 5 steps down. Okay, so again, it's 4 up, down 5, 4 up, down 5, 4 up, down 5. Okay, that is the way we put that. Okay, but you should be copying this so that you have exactly for all 7 flats. In a key signature, you have exactly the order and the positions in which they belong, okay? Again, they're like lowercase b's, and they should be in this order. Again, going from the left, diagonally up to the right, diagonally down to the left, to the right, okay? And so on and so forth, okay? That's how we have that. Now, how do we read them? Here is the rule, and I'm going to write the rule down, okay? So write this down. I wrote it before in a previous lesson, but I'll write it again just so you have it. Flats rule. Take the last or only flat and count 4 steps down. Okay, there you go. So you take the last or only flat symbol in the key signature and count 4 steps down. Let me show you what I'm talking about. And we did go over this because, again, when we were just going over in a previous video, you look for it, when we were only finding out how to read what the 1 flat symbol in the key signature, we figured out that it was the key of F, because with it being the only flat symbol, from that line, from that B line, we counted down 4 steps and we ended up on the F space. Okay, so that determined to us that we were in the key of F. And in the key of F, the only note that's flat is what? B flat. Okay, so that's how we do that. But now we have multiple flats. So we're going to put this rule into action. In this case, now we're going for the last flat. How do we know we start off with the last flat in multiple? How do we know where the last flat is? Well, because it's the furthest one towards your right. Okay, it's the furthest one toward the right. So from here, watch this. We are on the 7th flat, which happens to be in the F space. Okay, which means in this key signature, in this key, whatever key this is in, okay, F is flat, so is E. E is flat. It has an F flat, an E flat, a G flat, a D flat, an A flat, an E flat, and a B flat. Did I say this was E flat before? I hope I didn't say that. That's a C flat. So again, you have an F flat, a C flat, a G flat, a D flat, an A flat, a E flat, and a B flat. All of those notes are flat. Okay. In fact, it's all of them. Okay. It's actually all of them. Remember, if I didn't reiterate this before, by the way, the music alphabet is from A through G. Okay. Please keep that in mind. Okay. I'm going to asterisk that. Okay. The musical alphabet is from A through G. So there is no such thing as an H note, an I note, a J, a Z note, okay? It's A through G, and then and those letters keep repeating depending on the range, okay? So you have low and high versions of A through G, okay? It just goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then starts all over again, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, the higher you go, okay? From the lowest to the highest. So A through G is the entire alphabet in music. Now, back to reading this, we are supposed to find the last flat, which is our F flat, right? And count downward 4 steps. So let's see. Let's count downward 4 steps. We have 1 in the space from the last flat where we're at, 2 in the line, 3 in the space, 4 in the ledger line, okay? Which means, look, if we're in the ledger line below, okay, this is actually middle C, okay? But it's not just regular C, can't be just regular C, because what did we also say before? Because in our key signature, F-A-C, C is flat. So that means we're actually in the key of C flat, okay? Please write this down, okay? We're in the, I put these little quote signs just right on either side of the C flat, okay? So we're in the key of C flat, and in the key of C flat, all the notes are flat. In fact, all of them, A through G, they are all flat. And how do we know this? Because every type of note from A through G has a flat symbol on it in the key signature, okay? So that is how we read that. Now, this is what I'm going to do. I hope you got this, by the way. Make sure you have this. You count down from the last flat 4 steps from space to line to space to line, or line to space, however, but 4 steps top down. And on the 4th step that you land on, that is the key signature. That is the name of the scale that you're playing in. We're in the scale of C flat when we have 7 flats in this order, okay? And guess what? In music, you're never going to have the flats in any other type of order. It will always be in this order. Same as the sharps, guys. Same as the sharps. Look in last week's lesson, just to look again, to review for yourself what order you put the sharps in, and the sharps will always be in that order, okay? All right, so I'm going to erase this, okay, because I want to go to I want to eliminate that 7th. I want to eliminate that 7th flat. I'm going to eliminate that. And now we're going to read this with 6 flats there. 6 flats. We have 6 flats, and now the last flat happens to be the one furthest to the right, which is our C flat, okay? But from C flat, we got to count down how many steps again? 4 steps downward, okay? Different from the rule with the sharps where we only go up 1 step. We count 4 steps down when it comes to reading a key signature in flats. So we start with where the flat sign is. We go 1, line is 2, space is 3, line is 4. Now we're on step 4, and we're right over here, and that is our G. Okay, but look, when we follow that line, that second line towards the key signature, guess what? There's a flat sign on that G line, which means we are in the key of G flat. Okay? So when we have 6 flats in this order, there can be no other order that it would be in, but 6 flats in this order. We count down 4 steps from your C flat, and you come down 4 steps, and you end up on G flat when you count 4. That means that we are in the scale of G flat. And in the scale of G flat, what does the key signature tell us? In the scale of G flat, G is obviously flat, so is C. C flat, you have a D flat, you have an A flat, you have an E flat, and you have a B flat. All of those notes are flat, okay? Except maybe for F, okay? F is the only one that's not flat, okay? That is a natural in the key of G flat, all right? So there you go, that is that. Now I'm going to erase this one and eliminate the 6th one. We'll go right over to the 5th. I'm going to eliminate the 6th and read the key signature as if there were 5 flats, okay? So I'm taking this last one out, okay? And now we have 5 flats, and our last flat happens to be on that second line where the G flat is, okay? There's a flat on the G line, so there's a G flat, and what's the number we got to count down from again? 4 steps. We got to count 4 steps down from the last flat where we are. So here we go. Line is 1, space is 2. Line is 3, and space is 4. Okay. And where does number 4 land? In the space below the treble clef, which happens to be a D. But not just any old D. How do we know it's D flat and not regular D? Well, because when we look at our key signature, guess what? We already know that G is flat, okay? What about the one just before it? It's a line note. Line, what every good boy does, okay? Does. That is the D line. That means this is telling us that we are in not just so much that we're in the key of D flat, but this particular scale has a D flat. Not only that, but G is flat, A is flat, E is flat, and B is flat, okay? Those particular notes are flatted in the D flat scale, okay? So you see, we're getting a lot of information just by reading the key signature before we even start, okay? The only one that's not flat is what? F and C. F and C are the only 2 notes that are natural in the key of D flat, all right? Interesting stuff, right, guys? So let's do this. Let's get rid of this now. Hopefully you got this down. If not, you can always go back to the video. It will be on this channel that you subscribe to. Okay, so we're going to eliminate the 5th flat sign. Eliminate that. Okay. I'm just going to fill in some of these lines that I kind of erased here. Driving me crazy. All right. So now we have 4 flats. 4 flats in the key signature. We're down to our 4th flat, which is the furthest one towards your right. It's this one right over here, right? We went from here, right to the right, more to the right, just like diagonally going up. So our last flat happens to be on that D flat line, right? Again, every good boy does. Therefore, that's a D flat. We count down 4 steps. You got it. 4 steps. From that line, we go 1, 2 in the space, 3 in the line, 4 in the second space, which happens to end up on this particular, where this flat symbol is, which means we're dealing with what? The key of A flat. So now we're in the key of A flat. And in the key of A flat, what notes are flat? Well, obviously A is flat, so is D. D is flat, E is flat, and B is flat, okay? Only those 4 notes are flat notes from the original. Meanwhile, F, notes like F and G, okay, and C, those notes are not flat, okay? That's the idea. That's how that goes. See, tells us a lot. All right. Hopefully you got this down, okay? Take a look at it one more time because I'm going to get rid of the last flat So we'll have 3 flats left, and here it goes. We will have 3 flats left. All right. Oh, let me erase it. Yeah, probably a good idea. All right. Okay, so now we're left with 3 flats. Okay, we have 3 flats in the key signature. Okay, and which is our furthest one towards the right? This one right here, right? We went from the 3rd line up to the space, diagonally down. Notice it's down towards the right some, not directly underneath, but towards the right. And so that we have an A flat right there, and we count down what? 4 steps. From the space, 1, to the line is 2, to the space is 3, to the last line is 4, okay? And so we're at that bottom line, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there we have the bottom line as E. E for every. E what? Is it E flat? Well, let's check. Is it E flat? The key signature, again, tells us which notes are flat and which ones aren't, okay? So we obviously have an A flat. We have a B flat, right? Every good boy. And then we have that top space, F-A-C-E. That is an E, and there's a flat symbol in that E. That means every note is going to be an E flat in the song whenever we come to either this E on the bottom or this E in the space. Doesn't matter which E, it's always going to be E flat. So in the key of E flat, A is flat, and so is B flat. B is also flat. The other ones are not flat, okay? That's the idea behind that. And now I'm going to erase this. Hopefully you got this, okay? Well, go back to the video. You'll get it, right? Let me just see. I'm just checking the time. Ooh, okay. Well, I was a little bit behind anyway, so we're not really running late, but I'm going to erase that. Get down. We're actually down to the wire. We're almost done, okay? And I'm going to erase this last flat, this 3rd one, because now we only have 2 flats left, okay? 2 flats left. Which is the last one? Obviously the one in the E space, right? And so we count down 4 steps downward from where that last flat is. 1 in the space, 2 on the line, 3 in the space, 4 on the line, and we're right there at what? B flat. How do we know it's B flat? Because the key signature has our B flat within the key signature. It has a B flat. In the key of B flat, B is of course flat. E is also flat. All the other notes, natural notes. Okay, that's how that works. And then of course we already know how it works when we have one more flat there. We already went over that. That is the key of F. Quick review. We get rid of this last flat. We get rid of the E flat, and now we're left with only 1 flat. We go counting down 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we land on the F, the key of F. Now, pray tell, why again is it the key of F? Why isn't it not the key of F flat? Because the only note that's flatted according to the key signature is B flat. Is there a flat for an F in the key signature? There is no other flats but B flat, right? So in the key of F, because we counted down 4 steps, every note is natural except for B. B is the only note in the key of F that is flat, okay? That's how we read our accidentals, our flat accidentals, okay? Once again, remember that in the musical alphabet, there is only A through G, all right? These are what the flat symbols look like. And the flat symbols that are arranged in that particular order right after the treble clef sign, okay, is known as a key signature. Same thing with the sharps. It's still known as generally as a key signature, okay? And where they're positioned, where I wrote the positioning of the sharps in the previous lesson, as well as these flats, that's the way they're always going to be written, okay, when you need to show what key you're in, okay? So make sure you actually have this down. If you don't, just go back to the video. Go back to the video, write it all down, okay? It is there for you guys to reference, all right? So there you go. Once again, that is how you write and you read the flats, the accidentals in a key signature, all right? This way, again, if you're writing the song, then you basically have put forth what kind of scale we're playing or singing in. Okay, and it's just for you, just for you to know if you're going to practice and learn a new song, you have to know what to expect and what key you're going to be in, what scale you're going to be playing in. If you're playing in the key of F, oh, okay. If you're playing in the key of C, which is all natural notes, in the key of C, it's all natural notes. Okay, so you would be in that scale. If you're playing the key of D flat. Okay, if you're playing in the key of I don't know, G. Okay, so notice how every scale that I'm playing it in what they call the major scale. Okay, and it has that quality of that do re mi fa sol la ti do. Okay, so you basically, before you start a song, before you start learning one or even writing one, you're already setting the precedent and anticipating what scale that song is going to be in, so that you know and anticipate how you're going to attack the melody of whatever you're learning. Okay, that's how we do that. And guys, thank you very much for joining me. Had a great time. I hope you guys got a lot out of this. Definitely this is something that we don't necessarily take for we don't take and utilize. This is a lot of fundamental stuff. Okay, so some of you high schoolers might already have some of this. Okay, when I teach, of course, when I'm teaching music theory and composition, I'm going over these fundamentals first, so that you guys have, some footing to stand on. Okay, you have some ground to stand on. Even if you already know it, this is a good reminder. And if you don't know it, then hey, this is for people who have never ever done music before. These are very important things to keep in mind, because as we go into our later lessons, I'm going to be showing you melody patterns. I'm going to be showing you chord patterns. I'm going to show you a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, and music is full of patterns. Okay, but we need to know the fundamental stuff first, which is learning to read that key signature. Okay, as well as other symbols. All right. But anyway, that is it, guys. Remember some of those reminders that I gave you guys about getting onto patreon.com/Mr. C's Homeschool Music Academy for the minimum of $1 membership to get all those things that it's described in the details of this video, as well as liking and sharing these videos, okay, on my Facebook page. I have a Facebook page if you have it, and also subscribing. Hit this if you have not yet. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications button, okay? And let's continue to do music together, guys. Thank you so much once again for joining me. I can't wait till next week. We will be doing a new lesson next week to stem off from what we did here, okay? We're going to go on. We're going to move on, okay? So be ready. And as always, as I always tell all of my students, I wish you happy practicing. Everyone, take care. Have a great day.